Some might call this one of the best gaming monitors, or some might call this a big behemoth, but nothing can deny the fact that the LG GX9 45-inch OLED gaming monitor is nothing short of spectacular. And we have it in-house, and it's time for us to take a closer look. Let's jump in. Hey guys, Thunder E here, and welcome to my review of the LG Ultragear 45-inch OLED GX9 gaming monitor. This is the world's first 5K 2K dual mode gaming monitor, which means you'll have a max resolution of 5K, and it can also drop down to 2K as well. This is a monitor that has a resolution of 5126 by 2160, which is quite impressive. Now, when we look at this monitor from all the angles, it's got an 800 hour curve radius, which is great when you're sitting in front of the monitor. Whether you're just kind of browsing or gaming, it puts everything right there centered for you. Now, as you've noticed, the monitor is floating on a monitor arm, and yes, you can actually mount it. It uses a standard Versa mount, but make sure you get the right mount for this because the monitor weighs about 45 pounds. It's a heavy big boy in general. Now, the monitor also comes with a couple of ports. You've got a DisplayPort 2.1 support, you've got HDMI as well, which is nice. And you've got some built-in speakers into this monitor. The one thing you will notice that is missing from this monitor from at least last year's 45-inch variant from the Ultragear is a remote control. And I feel that's a bit of a downer. Now, you can go ahead and tap the main button to cycle through the menu of the monitor and easily change your input, change the settings, and go into the dual mode. But I do wish it had a remote control because it was so much easier to navigate through. And honestly, for the price of this monitor, LG, you should add a remote control, honestly. To me, it was a great feature last year. But that being said, let's focus on what this monitor has. Now, you've got a response time of 0.03 milliseconds and a refresh rate of 165 Hertz at 5K. And then of course, at Full HD Plus, we do have a refresh rate of 330. So which means you can maximize your gameplay in either format. Now, why would you want to do this? Well, if you're playing faster games that require faster response time, games like, say, Marvel Rivals, you want to go for that 330 Hertz. So basically, you're getting the action and you can game effectively. As opposed to maybe a game like Cyberpunk 2077, where you don't need that, but you want to get that maximum fidelity, but still have a nice high refresh rate at 165. This also works. Now, this is a super bright monitor at 1300 nits, which is really nice to see because it really shines and showcases, especially at 5K. Now, I will tell you this, that yes, because it's an OLED monitor, you're going to get a lot of reflections, but the curved nature does help. But I wish they actually had a matte coating to this monitor. It really will help with some of the reflections here. I was lucky enough that the angle of my window to this actually didn't affect it, but you get that. But let's get into the gaming nitty-gritty here. We played a bunch of games on this monitor, so I wanted to just see how it felt and it looked. So take a game like Forza Horizon 5. Now, Forza games, racing games, are gorgeous on monitors like this. It looks absolutely great, 165 frames per second. It is running really smooth. Of course, my system is built to handle this, which is not a problem, but it runs really smooth on this. And you can see that visual fidelity at 5K with this monitor looking good ultra wide. Also playing a game like Cyberpunk as well, you can see how it takes advantage of that 165 Hertz at 5K. Now you're going, what about switching over to something like 2K and at 330 Hertz? Well, Marvel Rivals is a game I wanted to test on this quite well to see how it performs, and performance was really good. Now, the one thing you notice is that when you switch from 5K to 2K, it's a glaring difference. It is glaring difference between how sharp it is at 5K and how maybe unsharp it is at 2K. Not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying it's noticeable. The other thing you'll notice with this monitor is that not every game supports the ultra-wide format, especially at the different resolutions. So some games will support it well at 5K, other games will not, and then some games don't actually work with it at all. So for instance, Street Fighter 6, that was just not a thing. Cyberpunk, I had some issues getting it to 5K. I did have to drop down the resolution a little bit. And then you had other situations with other games where sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. Doom Eternal, Didn't work at first, but did. So you're going to run into those issues. And I think that's something, again, that software can be fleshed out with a patch, but that's something to just take note at the very beginning. Now, the last thing is that this monitor also has built-in speakers. So let's take a quick listen with some gameplay from 2 games on the monitor. Audio is good. I mean, in a pinch, it will work well, but honestly, you're better going with speakers of your own or headphones just to give you the best audio fidelity. But if you really need something quickly, I think it will work out quite well. So what do I think about this monitor as a whole? Some people have dubbed it the king of monitors. Some people have said it's great. It's a fantastic monitor. I definitely like it at 5K. And I realized that the 5K 2K switch, while it's great, and while that I can get a higher refresh rate, I think for an ultra wide like this, I'll just keep it at 5K. Honestly, that's just me. I like the visual fidelity and the sharpness and crispness I'm getting at that resolution. The OLED monitor looks great. Also, true blacks really pop out well. 1300 nits and brightness really showcases well on this monitor, whether you're playing in daytime, nighttime. As I mentioned earlier, I do wish it did have an anti-reflective coating, and I think that is just a much better way to go with it, especially what we've seen what Samsung's been doing on their end. But this is a solid monitor. Now, it's priced at $1,999. That's a fairly priced figure for this monitor. And I think if you're looking for something that's ultra wide at a high resolution of 5K, whether you're gaming or even editing video, this monitor will do it for you. Now, all depends if you like that curved 800-hour radius, but this is a solid monitor, and I think one that LG can constantly improve, but I wouldn't call it the king of monitors just yet. So if you have any questions, any comments, let me know. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Click on the link for this monitor if you want to pick it up, and always enjoy your entertainment.